one of my hopes early on in the pandemic actually hasn't come to pass, but there's less care for the commons now. It's a general statement about our society. It's more about individualism and me.
It is.
And I was hoping that the pandemic would help us reset that a bit, right? Wearing a mask is an act of reciprocity, right? It's not just protecting me, I'm protecting you from me, right? Getting a vaccine isn't just about protecting myself, it's about protecting me from other people too, right? So it's an act of reciprocity that I had hoped more people would do because they care for the commons, right? They care for all of us, not just for me.
Yeah. We had a really nice guest on 2 weeks ago. And one thing that I think our society and also our public health institutions, what they're missing out on is the call towards health, call towards actual natural health. So the woman that we had on 2 weeks ago is a plant-based food activist, but, just about health in general. And she was talking about when she got sick, vitamins C, D, and we've learned that especially for COVID, vitamin D is one of the most important things that you can get. And people get vitamin D in different ways. And those who are hospitalized for COVID, 94% had one of the major comorbidities. And a lot of times that's either obesity, lack of vitamins, or diabetes is one of them. So one thing that Armin and I have tried to do on the podcast with some of our doctor friends is talk about just a call towards good health. And thankfully at the Rice Serveries, it's pretty good. I always had a lot of great options there.
When I was at the National Institutes of Health, there were many complementary and alternative medicines that were being used throughout the United States. The medical community is generally hostile to those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And but we created during that time a new institute there because people were going to use them regardless of what the medical profession said. What we needed was good research on St. John's wort or certain vitamins or things like that. Mm-hmm. And so that led to the creation and the funding of a significant effort to study these complementary and alternative medicines so that we have evidence that either they work or they don't work.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people take them and they believe in them. So you at least like to understand that
When
better.
you say alternative medicines, you're referring to vitamin D?
I'm referring to all alternative things, right?
Alternative things. Would you say that intravenous concentrates like vitamin D, zinc, Z-stacks of various sorts are pretty much, they're probably the most established medical chemical treatments that we have in our current system?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to speculate, but it depends on your condition, how much you take. So we just need a lot more evidence about those kinds of things than we have.
One thing that we do know is that, or that I like to say as a vegan person, as a plant-based person, is that just for good overall health for all people, a plant-based diet, because of its least inflammatory ability.
It is widely known that the tobacco and diet industries lobby governments with scientific propaganda for years until proven guilty in court. The artificial treatment of our water is the next corporate deception.
For example, virtually every nation in Europe has rejected the use of artificial fluoride. International studies since the 40s have repeatedly shown that endocrine and neurological effects increase after repeated consumption, even at the levels accepted by U.S. government.
Epic Water Filters is the most thorough industry-grade filtration system that Houston Ensemble has ever used. They reduce heavy metals upwards of 99.5%, such as lead and mercury, bacteria like E. coli, and poisons like chromium, nitrate, and fluoride.
Join us in our journey to living a toxin-free life and get your Epic Water Filter using discount code Houston Ensemble, lowercase, one word. That's Houston Ensemble, lowercase, one word, for 20% off your Epic Water Filter.